Don't you think someone like you with your huge platform should be calling that out consistently?
I do, but I also
think... you just gave me a whole thing. Iran backs Hamas, Hezbollah, terrorism. That just sounds like an Israeli narrative.
You take one side completely.
Just like you do in Ukraine.
No, yes.
Yeah. So I'm consistent. I take the side of the Ukrainian people under occupation and the Palestinian people under occupation. I'm consistent.
No, you're not. They're totally different situations.
You have to say that because you're not consistent.
And you have to say what you say.
No, but I literally described it. 2 people's under foreign occupation, 2 people's having their hospitals bombed, 2 people's having their kids killed, 2 people facing governments that say genocidal stuff. Yeah, I'm consistent.
One is a democracy and an ally of the West. And one is not.
Ally of the West. What little slip in there? What's that got to do with anything? So allies of the West get to be genocidal?
No.
Why did you say ally of the West?
I don't believe what they're doing in...
So if Russia was an ally of the West, they could kill people in Ukraine?
I don't believe what they're doing in Gaza is genocide. You do, I don't. Well, genocide is the complete...
Put genocide to one side. Whether we agree or not on genocide, and it is genocidal.
It's not genocide.
You just said they're your ally of the West. Why is that relevant?
I think it's important that you support.
So if you're an ally of the West, you get to kill kids?
No, you get.
So why is it relevant?
You support.
You're making my point for me, Piers. I'm consistent. I don't care whether you're an ally of the West or an enemy of the West.
Fine.
I care about what you do.
Yes.
And Russia and Israel both committing war crimes, both saying genocidal
stuff. But Mehdi, here's my point. You are so blindly anti.
Does it sound like other conservatives? What I'm trying to say is, what I meant by that is, here's what I'm saying. You know, it's like that's an for some people. I need a second to think what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm saying. And then comes out and says it.
Israel. That you frame everything...
I could say the same thing to you about Russia.
I'm very blindly against Russia.
Okay, that's again. So you're inconsistent. I'm consistent. I'm blindly anti-occupying Russia that occupies Ukraine, and I'm blindly anti an Israel that occupies Gaza. By the way, another area I'm consistent is I do think both wars need to come to an end, and they're going to come to an end through some sort of negotiation. I don't believe in prolonged conflict. I don't know. I'm not a negotiator.
What's
I don't believe there's a military solution.
One of the things that's also very, very good about media is, when he doesn't know, he just goes, I don't know, like this. How's it going to come to an end? I've got no clue. It's not my area of expertise. And I think that in modern debate or modern conversation is a skill that too many people are afraid of. I don't know is a perfectly valid answer. If you don't know, unfortunately, and you see it amongst a lot of people online, they always try and have the answer. They always try, and what that then becomes is an ideological answer, and what that then becomes is like being a zealot, rather than thinking it through. Sometimes we don't know. And he's perfectly comfortable saying, I don't know, which I think actually shows strength rather than weakness to be able to acknowledge it.
Solution to either conflict.
Give me the solution.
I don't have one. Do you have a military solution? I don't think there is one.
We can't possibly give Putin what he's taken.
No, I agree.
So how do you do it?
I don't know. But I don't think the military continuing helps. I mean, how do you win militarily? I don't know how that works.
Would you said that in World War II?
What do you mean?
When the Nazis were trying to take over the world?
No, there was a plausible plan to win, wasn't there, when the US came in?
Just to fight them.
And there were no nuclear weapons back then, Piers, as you know.
Okay, but you just think Putin would ever use them?
Do you not think he would use them?
No. Why would he? He's not an Islamic fundamentalist who wants to blow himself up.
Oh, that's a very racist thing to say.
It's not.
You're saying only Muslims want to use nuclear weapons?
No, I said Islamic...
Why would Putin not want to use
I said Muslim, I said Islamic fundamentalists.
Why is it Islamic fundamentalists?
Because Islamic fundamentalists kill themselves to get what they want.
But they haven't used nukes. The only people who've used nukes in history are the United States of America.
You're missing my point deliberately, and you're playing the race card stupidly.
You're playing weird asides, Piers. You're bringing in Western allies.
I'm asking you a question about whether I thought Russia would use nukes. No, because
the only people who would are Islamic fundamentalists.
They do not behave.
Western
He does not think like an Islamic fundamentalist where they will kill themselves to get their goals.
You know the United States of America used a nuclear weapon, Piers, right? They're not Islamic fundamentalists.
You're missing my point. The point is Islamic fundamentalists will kill themselves in the process of destroying others. Russia does not want to do that. Vladimir Putin doesn't want to kill himself.
Fair point.
Right? So my point about the nuclear threats, which he does all the time, is he takes what should be a deterrent. Look, we shouldn't have nuclear weapons, right? Period. But we do. Russia has 6,000.
As does Israel.
Russia has 6. I'm sure they do. And I put that question to Netanyahu, and he fudged it. But I'm sure, of course, they do. Right? But the point is, I don't think that the mindset of someone like Vladimir Putin is to start a war where he gets instantly vaporized.
No one brought this up, though, True. Remember when the Ukraine conflict war started up? They were talking about how sick Putin is. Remember that conversation? So what if the last thing
fell down the stairs?
what if the last thing he does before cancer takes him the next day is to fire off a bunch of nukes?
Yeah, or what happens when the next rung of politicians down, next rung of leaders down. What happens if his generals get sick of getting gulagged for failures in Ukraine and decide to do a coup?
Yeah.
What does a dictator do when he's staring down the barrel of a firing squad or
Yeah.
being hung from a lamppost?
Yeah.
If he's got someone that's willing to turn the key for him, that's the thing. Like, that's the fear. The fear is that someone with that power is going to do something that is not reasonable.